When you get a wake-up call, you got to wake up.
Tommy Mallet wasn't Tommy Mallet anymore.
I wasn't happy. I was happy when I was going mad. It was like I had an addiction. I was in hospital. They was like, look, you are putting yourself under so much pressure and stress. Like, it's going to end bad for you. You need to calm down. And I never listened to it. The one that really hit it for me is when my missus lost a baby, yeah? My biggest tax bill was something like £2 million. I'm in the middle of quite an intense battle. I can't have a piss without getting a legal letter. Having the right mindset gets you where talent don't. I had a lot of cash-rich money. The 3 to 4 millions at a time in the bank.
Putting a crystal in a shoe is a very niche product.
Not about what I sell, it's about the reviews and feedback. She said, since I have been wearing your sneakers, I've no longer been scared to attract new opportunities in my life, and they have been flowing. They basically took me to court to get an injunction where I wasn't allowed to say the name Citrine.
I understand the situation, and I also want to be fair as well. We've heard your thoughts and your feelings towards this. Put yourself in his shoes.
Yeah, that's not my problem, I don't care. I like the question and I respect you challenging me on it, yeah? If I still own 50% of the business, which was my bread and butter, why would I do anything to jeopardise? I lost a baby and was going through grief and I needed time. So yeah, I don't care what's going on around me. Now I wanted some peace. The only way to get peace was for me to step away and I'm doing it. So I done it. I just lost my marbles a little bit of it all, man. I started drinking. I just feel like I had a bit of a breakdown. The thing I'd love to do is sell the shares, watch them smash it, man. I've got no hard feelings towards anyone. If I can tell a story and not really express myself by words as good, and it's by me creating things, I can't just contain what I've got. So my real purpose is to inspire by creating. And that's how Citrine was born.
They say you don't truly understand success until you face real loss. You built a multi-million-pound brand from nothing, only to have to walk away from it. Looking back, what was the hardest lesson you had to learn from that experience, and how has it shaped the way you move now?
Wow, what a question. It's been a lot of lessons, man. A lot of hard lessons. I'm going to answer as truthful as I can, yeah?
Yep.
None of it. They weren't tough.
How not?
I don't know. It was a lot of hard lessons in there, but when it was actually happening, none of it was.
See, I look at that. So I understand what you're saying there, but at the same time, you know, I've built this podcast here. This is my baby. This is my business. Same thing with you when you was building up Mallet. And if I had a situation where I had to walk away from it, I don't know how I would even do that in the first place. And I wouldn't even be able to fathom how I can come out of that.
Yeah, that's why the questions hit me, because during the time it weren't hard, it just felt normal. The lessons are worth every single moment. The lessons that I've learned from the last year was worth every single loss that I've taken, and the whole 10 years worth of work. Even if I didn't get paid, the lessons in the last year are worth it. And if it was a year before when we done our first podcast, I wouldn't have been able to do it. But I had accepted so much more and found more faith in life, calmed down as a person, as you can probably see now compared to when you met me the first time, that it just felt natural for me to do so. So it didn't feel hard at the time. It just felt natural. It felt familiar. It felt like it needed to happen. It felt like I needed to cut a piece of me off to move forward.
We're going to come into the whole story of exactly what happened, but you know, from the first podcast we done, that was filmed back in 2022, I believe it was.
It was, yeah.
So it's been a few years now, and in that podcast, I watched it again last night, and you were so passionate about the brand,
yeah,
and so enthusiastic. It's like, I want to say you never saw it coming.
I didn't see it coming until like a month before, which is, I don't know, man. I think I've got faith now, which I didn't have before. It was just like everything was just so like drastic, and everything was fast, and everything needed to be, I need to smash it, da da da. When now I'm like, I need to fix my life and then go back to smashing it.
Yeah.
Where there, I was like severely struggling with my ADHD. I couldn't focus and I was like completely losing my marbles, and I wasn't happy. I was happy when I was going mad. That's the only time I was happy. When I was having like mad stressful things happening, I was buzzing off it. It was like I had an addiction, and my addiction was working and basically just smashing it and fighting at the same time. And it was just like a constant battle. I never had any peace. And it was only until like I had a few the reason that I think it become easier is when you get a wake-up call, you got to wake up. And if you don't, the next time is going to be worse, yeah? And during my career, I had a few wake-up calls. For example, I thought it was depression, but it wasn't. I had a really bad stress attack. and I thought like I was having a stroke. So I went into hospital and everything with it.
Was it recently or?
No, it was in 2018.
Okay, a while ago then.
Yeah, and when I was in hospital, they was like, look, you are putting yourself under so much pressure and stress. Like, it's going to end bad for you. You need to calm down. And I never listened to it. So I just went worse and worse and worse. And I thought, look, it don't matter, but I'm earning money. I'll retire when I'm this age, so I'll keep smashing it. And what it was is I was just so scared of losing everything. I felt like I just had to just keep going at that speed. And I had the wake-up calls a few times, and I never listened to them. And then the one that really hit it for me is when my missus lost a baby, yeah? And she lost a baby, and after that, I realised how far away from reality I actually was by just driving myself mad building this company. I didn't have any relationship with any friends. Didn't have any relationships with my partner. I'd slowly drifted away from my son because I was just looking at him thinking, I need to make life better for you. But really, all he needed was me. And I slowly started deteriorating as who I was as a person. Mad. I was just like a machine building this company. And the wake-up call was losing the baby. And that was when I said, you know what? I need to now go and better myself as a person. Because it don't matter how much money and success I've got, I can't fix this situation. So now's the time to really, really start diving into what I believe in. And that was it, man.
I kind of relate to that in a sense. So first and foremost, I want to say sorry for the loss right there.
It's all right, Baba. Thank you.
And secondly, off the back of that, so I wasn't say I was far from reality, but at the same time, when you're so focused on what you're doing and what you're trying to build, you don't look at everything around you.
No.
And my sister had a baby in, I think it was October last year. And since then, it kind of brought me back to reality. And it's like, okay, cool. This is what really matters. Let's try and build the business and try and build our personal lives around it as well.
For sure.
I want to kind of understand your hunger and your drive because, as I said in the beginning, you've built a multi-million-pound brand, made serious amounts of money, and proven yourself to many people, including yourself right there. Most people in your position would either slow down and retire, especially after what's happened, but you're still hungry. I want to say more than ever before.
I'm starving.
So what is actually the driving force behind you? Like, what is it you want to prove? Is it about legacy, proving something to yourself, or is it just something that won't let you stop?
Well, at the moment, I'm not really in a position to retire now. I was in a position to retire, but I've just come out at the end of a year court battle, which is actually still ongoing, so it's not the end of it. And constant negotiations on my part of a business, and I've invested a lot of money into a new business. So, I paid a lot of tax as well. And after all...
Tax bill's always the worst.
I think my biggest tax bill was something like £2 million, personal.
Yeah.
And it was because I didn't understand business as much as I thought I did, and I had partners, and it was just the way things happened. And when it goes to show after, I invested the money back into a business, lost the business now, well, I still own 50% of it, but I ain't in no position to retire. I'm starting from scratch. And when I say that, people think I'm not. I honestly am. I'm like, obviously I'm lucky enough to still have a property. But apart from that, I don't really have much else. I'm in the middle of quite an intense battle. So I have to get up and make it happen. And the times when the self-doubt comes in, which it does, did I make the right decision? I just have to give myself a slap and say, well, it don't matter now because you're here. And they say, if you're going through hell, don't stop because you get stuck there. Yeah. I ain't looking to get stuck where I've been this last year.
No one wants to get stuck.
I'm not getting stuck there. So I've got faith. That's one thing I'm blessed with. I've really got faith. I know that the best is yet to come. I know that I'm in a transition period, and I know I need to keep going. And I need to keep going because it's not about just me no more. I can inspire so many people. All I've got to do is put a video out, and the messages that I receive from people, I feel like I've got a duty now. But in terms of my drive, it's for a different purpose now. It's not to get rich. I'm not really bothered about any of that stuff. I'm sick of contradicting myself. For example, on the last podcast, I said I sold up my car. So
do you know, this is a question.
Yeah, but do you know what? Like, it's the maddest thing, yeah, is because, and I can explain that. That was all to please, like, things around me. But I weren't being true to myself. I was like, I wanted to be like just the normal liked person, but my lifestyle was different to a normal person. But I was trying to hide it.
Do you know what? Just a quick one on that as well. A lot of people messaged me off the back of that and coming to recent events because they were like, yo, what's happening with Tommy? Because he's, said he sold up his G-Wagon because he felt bad for other people and stuff like that. But then he's gone and bought a Ferrari Sangue and he was rolling around in that. Yeah. So it was like, which one is it, Tommy?
Do you know what, yeah? I'll be honest with you. That was a the comment I made about the G-Wagon was a lot of people was writing about it, saying some people saying it was good, some people saying it's bad. Is where I was going with it really is where are my offices and where I go. The places are hot, yeah, and I ain't looking to be a target when people are hungry.
Yeah, so you changed it.
Quite simple. No. So I sold everything, right, and I got rid of everything. And what happened is I got the biggest tax bill of my life, right? And I looked around and I thought, I don't buy any clothes. I don't buy any. I've got no cars. I've got a 13 plate Mercedes. I don't wear any watches. I've got a nice house. I just don't have nothing, right? So then my pal rings me and goes, listen, I can get you an early order of the pair of Sangways. So I thought, lovely. It's an investment, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I bought it. Worst thing I've ever done.
Why?
Sit there.
You still got it? No,
of course not. I sold it I got rid of it within a month.
Okay, why?
The evil eye is real, man. Fucking hell, mate. I felt it. I felt the support go quick. I had a lot of support from people when they was like, no, you're a sellout driving a Ferrari, which I can have whatever I want. I shouldn't really care what people think. But yeah, man, it's a big move buying that car. And I got a lot of haters because of it, which I didn't know I had.
So did you get rid of it purely because of the hate?
No, man. No. It was always a thing of, mate, I've never kept anything long. Everything I've ever had, I've had for a month. Like, I'm in and out of things. But I'm going to be honest with you, I needed the money, man. I bought the car. And then next thing I was in court. And in my evidence, they're reading out this kid drives a Ferrari and using it against me. So I was like, nope, straight back to basics. And that's where I am, straight back to basics.
Yeah. Well, look, Tommy, we've known each other for quite some time now. Mm-hmm. And aside from all the business court stuff, which we're going to come into, I want to say you've been a bit quiet on socials, especially within the last year. Aside from the business, like I said, has there been anything else that's held you back from being as present as you always are? Because you're always that guy online to be making moves and shining and showing people what you're on. But over the last year, apart from more recently, it was a bit quiet.
Yeah.
Any other reasons?
Yeah, because every time I put something out, it gets used against me, man.
As someone running multiple businesses, I know how overwhelming it could be managing everything. Finances, taxes, expenses, you name it, it can definitely become a lot to manage at times. I used to rely on several different services just to keep everything on track, but that's where it all changed when I started using Tide. You see, Tide has completely changed the way I manage my business. With their business account, I've got all my tools in one place. Payments, expense tracking, savings, taxes, I've got it all in their app. That means no more juggling between different platforms. Tide gives me the simplicity and efficiency I've always needed. And here's how it's worked out so great for me, because in 2025, I'll be launching my own business, which you'll find out soon. And I'm doing it all through Tide. Furthermore, this is my business card for the new business. I registered my company and got my free business account all within one day, making it fast and reliable just the way it should be. Now here's the best part. I'm about to change your life as well. If you're looking for a similar solution, Tide is offering something special for you Ceocast viewers. When you sign up and use my code Ceocast50, you'll get £50 cash back when you spend £100 on your new Tide account. Terms and conditions apply. It's seriously a no-brainer for anyone trying to streamline their business. So what can I say? From someone who's actually been using Tide, it has changed my life more than I can imagine. It's just made things so much more simpler and easier. And I know it can do the same for you guys, which is why I'm so glad to partner with them. So stop wasting time on multiple services and join Tide, where you have everything in one place. Head over now using the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen right now and get started today. And once again, make sure you use that promo code Ceocast50 because that's when you'll get your £50 cash back.
It's like, I can't have a piss without getting a legal letter. It's just mad. So it's like, sometimes you've got to just work in silence and let the success do the talking. I weren't never doing it to really, like, to show off or nothing. It was just to inspire, innit? It was like, it was part of my brand. It was what I'd done. And my missus got pregnant. I had a little girl. I was quite enjoying just being me. I had a year break off doing my TV show. And it was just nice to just be a normal person for once. And I actually really enjoyed it. I went and moved to Spain.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, man. I live between England and Spain anyway.
Yeah. Whereabouts in Spain?
Mallorca.
Okay, nice.
So like, I was just enjoying being me, just being normal, and not having to post constantly. And I really done a lot of work on myself. Whereas I'd be doing work on myself, but it would be I had to tell everyone I was doing it. Whereas I actually did do so much work on me and change who I was as a person. So it was a nice break, but I'm back.
We're back.
I'm back. Like you've never seen, man. I'm everything before was such a. When I look back at it, it was just knowledge, innit? It was an inexpensive university degree, in my opinion. And you know what? And in that year, I think I'm going to be honest. Like, in that year of me, for example, buying the Ferrari, what I said on the podcast, right, about the G-Wagons was actually me. That was the real Tommy. If you speak to anyone, that is actually who I am, yeah? But I went through a mad year. I lost the baby and things like that, and I just lost my marbles a little bit of it all, man. And I started drinking, started like buying mad cars. I just feel like I had a bit of a breakdown and started wasting things which I'd never normally do. So I didn't really have nothing to shout about on social media because I knew I had big problems coming to me, and I was just sort of, I don't know, I feel like I was on the run, man. Like, I've not had a drink for over a year. I cut everything out again. But yeah, I did. I lost myself for a little while.
You know, when you and Georgia lost the baby,
yeah,
how did you react and what was your whole actions to the environment? Was you angry? Did you fall into depression? As you said, you know, you were drinking. What was it that, if you had to reflect me upon that time?
I think what happened is after I experienced the loss, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to enjoy everything. Where before it was never like that. It was work and build and keep your feet on the ground. And then I sort of got a bit of resentment and was like, no, fuck everything, man. I'm just going to go and enjoy my life and do what I think is going to make me happy. So I went on this mad spree of me just changing who I am as a person. And it didn't work. Like, the car I had for a month, I thought me and my son was going to love it and it was going to be like a big bond, me and him. He didn't want to go in it. It was like, that was that bit. The holidays are just end up me going out and just staying out all night drinking. Didn't want to do that. I let my health slip. So it happened, but in a different way for me. I was grieving in a different way. I was doing things completely different. Like, even though I drastically moved away from Mallet, I was grieving. It was a big, big process for me to take, and I just broke down. And it's the first time I've said it. It was definitely a big part of my life where I broke down, and I started moving mad.
It's like Tommy Mallet wasn't Tommy Mallet anymore.
No, man. I went back to just being a madman. Like, I couldn't. My way of dealing with it was different. Every time I see Georgia upset and I had to think about things, it just sent me wild. And I made a lot of shit decisions, man. I'm not going to sit here and say, look, not, like, it weren't all my, it was my fault, because it wasn't. But a lot of the decisions I made was I was grieving, and yeah, life hits you, and when it hits you, it don't matter how big you are and how strong you are and what you've been through, man. It's tough. It is tough. But it builds you and it makes you strong. So, like, now I'm a different breed. Like, I feel completely different as a person. I can take so much more.
Yeah.
So, listen, it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. But you have to look up to the higher power and sometimes say, well, what was the lesson I got in that, and how can I become better as a person? And that's what I've done.
Well, this is what I can say, man. I'm a man of God. And, you know, when babies are taken at that age, especially before they're even born, they're straight to heaven, and God's look after their baby, and you'll reunite with them eventually.
No, of course, and thank God I've got a little girl now, Gigi. She's 3 months.
Gigi, I like that name.
Yeah, Gigi.
Your name.
And now I've got Brody, Gigi, and I've got abundance of like joy every morning when I see him. So like, I'm thankful, man. Life's good. Life is very good.
How old is Gigi?
3 months.
So I've heard many times, many sayings, people say you're not a man until you have a daughter.
Oh my God.
Tell me about that.
Mad. I can't explain the difference between having a boy and a girl. Having a boy, you're like, all right, I need to bring him up. He needs to be strong. He needs to be powerful. Don't do that. Don't do that. And I'm constantly on him. All she does is cries. When she cries, I'm going mad. And why is she crying? Who's touched her? Or if her lip goes, I'm like, please don't do that, because you're making me want to get angry. And Brody's the same verb. Brody's like, why's Gigi crying? Get her milk, get her a dummy. Having a little girl makes you soft. I don't want to shout in the house. Don't want to swear in front of her. I don't want to speak bad to Georgia in front of her, because I don't want her to think that's how the way you should accept to be spoken to by anyone. Mm-hmm. It's a complete different game. And to be honest with you, it's a lovely, lovely experience for a man to have a girl. It really makes you soft. I was always soft, but I'm even softer with her.
Yeah, I love that, man. I love to hear that for you.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. Listen, anything to do with kids is beautiful. It's like, it's what it's for, man. It's the best, honestly.
At this stage in life right now, and I feel like this is so important to ask you, especially, how's your mental health?
It depends what day you ask me, man. A lot of the time, I would say now I'm 100% better than when I first met you.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah, for sure. I was crazy, man. It's just so uncomfortable.
Crazy in a good way, or because you had a lot of energy infused?
I met you the week before I got diagnosed with ADHD.
It was.
That was the week before.
Yeah.
So like, I'm there just moving mad, going shouting, screaming, da 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 da. I was drinking so much espressos and all of that just to keep me going.
Mm-hmm.
I'd get home and I'd be zonked, but then I'd just go through mad times where I'd be like that for like 6 weeks, and then I'd have 3 weeks where I'm like down and depressed. But I'm not down and depressed. It's just like my energy levels are gone. I've had a crash, and then it would just be uncomfortable, and then I'd be like violent as well. I'd be quite a violent person. I'd be like aggressive, violent. No one can tell me nothing. I don't give a shit what you say. I couldn't read, I couldn't write. I was struggling, man. So now I still have ups and downs. Obviously, everyone does, especially when you're moving at a fast pace and you're building businesses and you've got a family, and especially when you've risked a lot. But at the same time, now I've got peace. I've never had peace before. I've never experienced any peace. When now I've got peace. And for me, peace is the most important thing. Because there's no point having loads of money without having peace.
Without peace, yeah.
What's the point? You're sitting up, mate. I was sitting on beaches. I'd be away and I'd be on a beach, and I'd be finding GoFundMe pages for like sick people. I'm just fucking getting obsessed with that, sending them money, I needed an obsession all the time. It'd be like I'd be specking cars on the beach, like interacting with people with charities, which I'm saying is a good thing.
Yeah.
But I weren't doing it for them. It was just so I could keep my mind going. And I was like, all right, I'm not working. I need to do something else. So I'd just be doing mad things like all the time. So I just went through a stage of like having just constant every day, like that. And then it just stopped when I realised how my brain worked. And now I've got peace. So my mental health's good. I go through stages. Everyone goes through stress. Some people can just take stress better than others. I personally feel like I can take stress like a billionaire. And that's what makes me who I am now. I don't know if I could do it before, but now I can. It's just a different level. When people crack, I can just perform. And my mental health is really good in that way. I still have ups and downs where I feel quite shit about myself, but I can pull out of it very quick. Where before it would take months and weeks to months. Now I can just do it in a day. I'll be cool. Let me have my moment. I'm all good.
Yeah. So
mentally, I'm good. I'm good. I'm driven, and I've got some purpose. So
you're in a good place in life.
I'm in a good place at life. And I know that it's only going up from here. So yeah, man, I'm reborn.
Reborn, I love it.
Yeah.
Look, before we get into the main topics of today, you said something on our last podcast, which you can't be doing podcasts all the time. You will only jump on a podcast when you feel like something's new or something's changed. And you WhatsApped me literally yesterday or 2 days ago saying, yo, Raheem, it's time. Let's go. So what made you want to drop that message to me? Because it was so random out of the blue. Why is it you wanted to jump on?
I always like your podcast.
I appreciate that.
And I always said I'm going to come back on it. And
like, what was going through your
I'm
mind?
so different now as a person. It's just going to be a different day.
Yeah.
And that excites me because I like to see how different I actually am. And there's a lot going on in my life now. I weren't allowed to speak about quite a lot of stuff for like, how long is it, my injunction? October, April until October, like 6 months or something. I weren't allowed to say certain things. When now, I can do whatever I want.
Be free.
Speak free. I'm ready to go. And even though I've been allowed to do that since the 31st of October, I've really needed some time to really like let the emotion go out of how I was feeling. Because I don't want to keep making stupid decisions down to emotion. It's the most stupid thing, man. All you have to do is take a breather for 5 minutes and you ain't going to make the decision.
Think properly, yeah.
Just think properly. So I just needed some time just to recoup. And then now I've got a lot going on and got a lot of positive messages to share. And yeah, man, that's why. I'm back. I don't want to go and start telling the same story 100 times. I think it's boring. But I've got new gems and I've got new things that's going on. And I think it's exciting, especially for people who are on the journey to start businesses and are going through maybe the same as me. I think it's really important to share the message. That's why.
Let's come into the story of Mallet. And I know you said you don't want to repeat stories and stuff like that. But generally, I haven't seen it. Right? I've seen it, obviously, you've talked about it here and there on your Instagram. And I know you've done other podcasts speaking on it, but I didn't want to watch those podcasts because I knew this conversation was going to happen eventually. So I wanted it to be natural reaction, natural conversation for me to understand exactly what went on. So as I said on the last podcast, you was enthusiastic, passionate about Mallet. And then later on down the line, and it's funny because I follow you and everything, I noticed the change. I noticed, you took Mallet out of your Instagram bio And then Mallet and yourself unfollowed each other. So I was like, okay, that's...
No, they blocked me. I did unfollow.
Oh, is it?
them. They blocked me. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay, so then that was different there. So Mallet then blocked you. And then you made a page called Tommy's Journey, which I followed that as well. I loved everything you were posting. So I've seen this whole transition. And like obviously the public, no one knew what was happening with Mallet. I thought, is Tommy still part of it? I was questioning it. So what actually happened from the point of that podcast to now?
Being a CEO isn't just about making tough decisions. It's about being at your very best every single day. That's why a lot of CEOs trust Sunnah Supplements, the world's first halal supplement brand. From halal collagen to electrolytes, Sunnah Supplements formulates products to help you perform at your highest level. Whether you're leading a company, a family, or simply yourself, Sunnah Supplements should be your partner to help you achieve more. The products are literally crafted to fit your lifestyle, your values, and your ambition. Every single ingredient is backed by science, and every single product is halal certified. And every formula designed to help you become the best version of yourself. And here's why I love Sunnah Supplements, yeah? Because every single sale they make, they donate a portion of it to charity, which is something I deeply align with. So I'm not just buying products that fuel my body, but I'm also buying products that align with my values. With over 50,000 customers and having just launched in the USA, be sure to join the movement today and use the discount code Ceocast for 10% off. Or I'll make this even simpler for you guys. Scan the QR code on the screen right now, which will take you directly to the website. And once again, when you're checking out, use code Ceocast to get 10% off of your order. What an absolutely bloody bargain. So I want to thank Sunnah Supplements for A, sponsoring this video, but B, helping me become a better person overall.
It happened fast, man. So after that podcast, I got help from ADHD and basically started understanding how I started focusing on things a bit better because I hadn't been able to read for my whole life. Anyway, I ended up getting help with ADHD and started doing things different so I could start reading and things like that. So I started using emails. I started looking into certain things and I got more passionate about the business after that. But at the same time, I then started getting more involved in things that I normally wouldn't. And I would just be cracking on with that. No matter what happens around me, I'll just crack on with it. So you could throw a brick at me, mate, and I'll just be carrying on. Mm-hmm. But I think I got a little bit more sensitive with getting the help for ADHD. My son was growing up and I was on this journey of building Mallet and telling my story. But during my whole career, I'd say for the last 5 years before I left, I was always battling internally. Like, when I started Mallet, it was just me and one person, and it was, let's just have a go at something and end up working. And when you get older, you start getting money, people change and relationship change, and that's life. And I'm quite good with that. But we ended up clashing, but clashing bad, and went from like being friends to not really being able to stand each other. And I think we give it a good go to be able to like get through as long as we did. It was a ticking time bomb, always, because it's a clash of two egos. And by the way, I've got mad love for the guy. It's not nothing personal. I always love him. I'm always thankful for the opportunities that I got given, because at the time I would never have been able to do it without him. And yeah, I wish him well. But for me, I feel like I developed as a businessman, and you could see my passion. You've been to my setup, so it's not like when I'm talking to a normal podcast, you see what I've done in that business. Yeah. I was there on the ground. Like, I think I had 24 staff or something. I think we was turning over 24 million, profiting 9 before tax. So like, we had a good setup, and my passion led me through the business. It wasn't money; it was passion, just passion. I didn't care about the money. I wasn't really bothered. It was just about building the company to the biggest thing to see how far I could take it. We started clashing. It started getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And then it would stop. Then it'd get worse. But I lived in England and I was on the ground in the UK.
Was he not?
No. And I had the team of people around me, and I ended up loving everyone and ended up probably being more in love with the business than anyone could imagine. It was mad. You see me there.
Yep.
And yeah, I probably did want everything my own way because I was there and I was meant so much to me. And I did just be obsessed with it. But I don't know, I felt like for years, all these arguments and things like that, I started taking it more personal and being like, hold on a minute, what are you arguing me for? You should be grateful. And like blowing smoke up my own ass, but I feel like I was a huge talent and I brought a lot to the company. It was my story of how it got there. It was all about me.
What I would say as well, looking from the outside, especially meeting you and your team, you was definitely a great leader, because even off camera from that podcast, your passion, your enthusiasm was spread amongst your team essentially, right?
Yeah.
All your right hand people, they were all passionate about Mallet as if it was their own brand as well.
Yeah.
And even when I went to the Mallet store after, I think it may have been a few months after, and one of your guys, I can't remember his name. What was his name?
E. Yeah.
It's not funny, I've done that for the hair, yeah. But he was there as well, and he's sharing the same sort of passion. And it's like,
yeah, it's mad. It's like it's quite tough to talk about, man, because I left there and there was a picture and like my last 2 months, and it was like 25 of us, or I think 24, and I think there's 3 left.
Really?
Yeah, man. Over that amount of time, there's 3 left. My dad's not there no more. My family member's not there, and mate, look, it was a great time in my life, man. It was amazing, but at the same time, it would be great for a few weeks. There'd be an argument and there'd be disagreements, and it was tough. I didn't want to keep doing it. We had a third person, which was an investor, which come in. They didn't really bring much to the table, to be completely honest with you.
Later on in the business.
2019, they come in.
Yeah. And just for me to understand again, when did you start Mallet again?
2015.
Okay, so this is 4 years later.
Yeah, they come in, didn't really bring anything business-wise to the table. They just sort of stood in the middle of me and my partner to sort of like be the parent, to just say shut up if things was going off. And then in 2023, they said, all right, we're selling our fashion division. You need to buy us out. So we ended up buying them out, and then me and my partner ended up 50-50 again. So there was no one to really referee what was going on in the middle of us.
So when you say the fashion division was, you had to buy it out, what do you mean?
So for example, the company that invested into us was a big corporation, yeah?
Okay, yeah.
And they had a division which they invested in fashion brands.
Yeah.
And they was like, yeah, we're selling it.
Oh, okay.
The
so
whole
they're
thing,
getting rid of it.
we're getting rid of it.
So they were
it was
group
like,
that manage different industries, essentially.
So it was like, we will either sell it to some random person or you buy it out.
Yeah.
And this is where the money problems come, because when we took the money out of the business, I obviously live in the UK, so I've got a big tax bill to pay on it, 40%.
Mm-hmm.
And I had, I think, £1 million tax on that money. And in the other substantial amount, I bought the shares back off this company, so it made my shareholding in Mallet bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Bought 12.5% back.
And your partner bought some shares?
Yeah, so then we're 50-50.
Okay, yeah.
So then I've used my dough to
buy them
buy the shares. So I've paid the tax and used the dough.
Yeah.
So now I'm financially not in a good place, because I'm like, all right, well, I've bought that, but give it 6 months, I'll get the money back out of the business, because it was doing really well. But them 6 months never happened, because I lost the baby. I was constantly arguing. It was shit, man. It was horrible. It was like, on both sides, it was shit. It was not good for everyone. It's not good for anyone's family. It's just a stupid argument about nothing. It's about, like, whose name's in this article there, and it says founder instead of co-founder. It's like just so much that stuff that didn't need to happen. I just didn't deal with it right, even myself. Like, I was obviously struggling with losing the baby, innit? So I just couldn't take it no more. So I was like, all right, cool. Come in. You can come to England and run the business. I'm cutting out because I'm going to make sure my wife's all right. And when I come back, things was different, innit? So
I just want to understand all the way from the beginning, from the get-go, right? What was the relationship with you two like? Were you just purely business partners, or were you friends before you got into business?
We were friends, man.
Okay, before you even started Mallet, or?
We was introduced around the same time, but we had a good bond.
Okay.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like, once family, always family, innit? So it's like, no matter what's going on, it's always love. I'm not going to, as much as shit goes down in the field when you're at war, it's still love there, you know what I mean? As I said, I couldn't have done it without him. I just, for me personally, had more passion towards what I was doing because it had my name on it. Maybe, I don't know. But it was something which had to happen, and I think it was inevitable. It was always going to happen. I didn't think it would be me that was going to go, if I'm going to be honest. I always thought I'd be the last one standing. But life comes in different waves, man. And it's not always straight. Sometimes it goes around in circles before it gets straight again. So I was at peace. I had to go, innit? I didn't have to leave. I could have carried on earning money, but I mentally couldn't take any more ag. It was too much. Too much. I don't want to wake up every day, have murders with people and build a business. It's just too much. So I just made the decision. I said, I'm gone. I'm bouncing. Went to Spain. sat down for 3 months, like, on my place, really started getting deep into, like, my self-development, my spiritual side, really started practicing again, and come back in the September and October, I bounced. I launched a Reebok collaboration, which was my final collaboration, and then went.
Didn't you ever have the decision of, didn't you ever have the thought of, rather than you leaving, buying him out, and then you running back, man it up to where it was before?
No, it was a lot of back and forward, man. And
was that conversation ever there?
listen, there's a million things I could have done, yeah? But I ain't that guy that's gonna, like, start forcing things on people, you know what I mean? It's like, if that's your livelihood and you want to run it, then you can run it. I'll go and do something else. I've got the power to do that. It's like, and that's what I've done. Mate, it happened fast. It was quick. It was like, there was no big bang towards it or nothing like that. It was just like a lot of time and a lot of shit going on for years and years and years, and it just exploded. It wasn't no one's fault. It was like, when I look back at it, he had a point in a lot of the stuff he was talking about. But at the same time, I had a point what I was talking about, because I'm like, yo, I'm here doing this, and this. Don't tell me nothing. Who are you talking to? Really? I feel like I was a lot younger and different as a person, and maybe I could have dealt with things different. Like, you always look back in hindsight and say that. But at the same time, I had enough, and nothing changes if nothing changes. And I'm not that guy that's going to sit there and go, oh, cool, this is my situation, I'm just going to let this happen. No way, I'm getting out of there. So I built what I built, and I was ready to start, and I just went, and that was it. Like, I was just, one day I just went. And I never thought it would happen. If you told me that, like, 2 months before, it was the maddest thing. I've never have thought it. I'd never see it coming.
I don't think anyone did.
It just felt right, though. It didn't feel wrong. I had to go with my gut. It weren't like, there was no big bang or nothing. Just one day, I just was like, I'm out of here. It was like a little, like, it weren't no one's fault. As I said, I'm not even going to start throwing shade on anyone. It weren't. It was just one day, enough's enough, I'm gone. And that was it. And it was agreed that I was resigning as a director. And that was it. I still, like, retained my shares, but then it just went downhill from then.
We're friends, and I understand the situation, and I also want to be fair as well. We've heard your thoughts and your feelings towards this. How do you think his thoughts and feelings were towards this as well? If you had to put yourself in his shoes, what was it about it that was causing the arguments?
I dedicated my life to earning millions and millions and millions and millions of pounds. Like, I was on the ground. I've paid the dues. I've said, like, I've got love for whoever's involved. I said that it wasn't just one person's fault and things like that. But at the same time, I lost a baby, yeah, and was going through grief, and I needed time. So yeah, I don't care what's going on around me. I wanted some peace. And if the only way to get peace was me to step away, then I'm doing it. So I've done it. But it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to sit there and start, like, thinking how other things was. Like, for me, the way I look at it is this. I turned up and showed up and done what I needed to do and built what I needed to build. No matter what happens in between, it is what it is. It don't matter. You're building something, yeah? And you have to make decisions on the ground every single day for growth. You do it. It is what it is. Your feelings don't come into it. You just got to fucking crack on. So, yeah, overall now, I regret certain things. I regret letting it go so far, so the point where we've had to, like, go court and things like that together. But apart from that, no, man. It ain't my problem.
So, when you was away, you said you was away for about 9 months, yeah?
3
months. Okay, cool. So that's a very short period of time then. So from when you're gone, business is on there.
I'd never had a day off though.
You never had a day off, of course.
I'd never had a day off.
What, even in that 3 months?
No, in my 10 years of work, that was my first 3 months I'd ever taken out.
Yeah, and then you would come back and you seen a hole in the boat.
No, I don't. Do you know what it was? Yeah, I think I'd done a lot of soul searching and I started realising what I want in my life. Yeah, and with me doing that, I decided it wasn't what I wanted. I had experienced a bit of peace. I'd experienced more. I realised that I wanted different. It was like, anyone's allowed to do that. It's like, people go travelling, like, and come back different people. Like, just because my name's on it, don't mean that I can't come home and have a change of heart and say, you know what, maybe this ain't worth the war no more. Maybe there's a different destiny for me. And I personally believe in that, and I feel like my journey was going elsewhere, so I was going to follow it. I'm not going to say, I ain't going to develop in my life because I have to go back to work on Monday. No way. So I'll just come back, and that was it. It was literally as easy as that.
So where did the whole conversation for Court come up in? Because there's one thing of stepping down as director and, business cracking on as usual. Tommy's doing his thing. Where's the Court come from?
Because I stepped down as a director.
Is this so when you step down as director, is that the point where you made Tommy's journey to page?
Yeah. Well, Tommy's journey was just about me showing how I was growing as a person.
Yeah, of course, yeah, I saw it.
So I wanted to keep showing people my growth, and it really worked, yeah. And I resigned as director on 31st of October, and I think we'd got to the point where I think it was accepted. One of us had to go, and I thought, fuck it, I'll go. So it was like, I was like, look, I'm going to go and take some time out. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Didn't state what I was going to do, but I wanted to go for an IVF journey with Georgia to have a baby because she had lost a baby and she was struggling to fall pregnant. And I wanted to try other things. So it was accepted that I was going to do it. And I left in October and then announced Citrine in like December, and then got a legal letter on like the middle of December saying if I go forward with it, that they're going to sue me. And I was like, but on what grounds? Like, it's not a direct competitor. When I launched Mallet, the whole thing is my life is a 32-year scale, right? From 1 to 17, I was a kid who grew up in a area which didn't have much, who wanted to be like everyone else. So Mallet was built for the younger Tommy who wanted to give kids the opportunity to feel luxury and premium. That's why I launched that business, and that was my whole demographic, yeah? Citrine is built for people who have been through hard times, who wanted better things for themselves, people who revert to their spiritual side, people who are going through big changes in their life. There's a whole difference in them two demographics. 18-year-old kids don't give a shit about what's going on in their life because they've not experienced much.
Yeah.
My target customer's 35 to 65. My target customer majority at the moment, it was 50-50 men and women, but a lot of it is middle-aged women. Mm-hmm. I'd never sold a sneaker to a middle-aged woman. My demographic was completely different. It was a young kid who wanted to look like that he had more than what he did.
Yeah, I mean, even going to it as well, the sneakers at the time from Mallet were named after streets where you grew up on or memorable moments.
They had metal clips on the back.
Yeah.
I've got a 1,000,000-year-old crystal in the bottom of the sneaker.
Yeah.
It's night and day. It's two different things. So I can understand where the question comes from is, yes, a direct competitor. It's not really. Because for you, for example, would you wear Mallet sneakers?
Yeah.
Would you wear Citrine sneakers?
Yeah.
Would you go out on a night out in a pair of Citrines, or would you wear a pair of Mallet sneakers?
Probably wear a pair of Mallets.
Okay, if you went to the gym and you went and done a bit of yoga, for example, would you wear Citrine sneakers or Mallets?
Yeah. Oh, no, the rest of Citrine, yeah.
They're two different things. It's like trying to sell fucking sportswear in a tuxedo shop.
Yeah,
two different things. So for me, I personally felt and I hope I explained that quite well, because I like your question and I respect you challenging me on it, yeah? Is financially as a person, if I still own 50% of the business, which was my bread and butter, why would I do anything to jeopardise it?
No, of course, I understand that bit. Yeah. I understand it as a whole. I want to ask this, right? Because you had left. Did you have the idea of Citrine at all?
Mate, over my years, I've designed some of the most craziest things. I own like loads and loads of different concepts and IPs. I'm a designer. I own things for cars. I own some of the maddest stuff. I had done fragrances. I had done shoe boxes. There's loads of stuff that I've done. I've got millions of concepts. So when I got to the end of what I was doing, I could have turned around and said, all right, I'm going to do that, and that. But it was whatever felt right. So when I stepped down as a director, it's when I started cracking on with it. Whether it was a right or wrong thing to do, what do you expect me to do? If you go and practice as a plumber, right, and you go and work for a big plumbing company, and then you leave that company, and I say, well, you can't go and work for a plumbing company, what are you going to do? Go and get a fucking job doing electrics and blow yourself up? It's what I know.
It's what you know.
It's how I express myself.
Yeah.
I'm a creator. do I understand where it went to quite a far place where it upset people? Yeah, I do. But I was upset as well. And did I deal with things right? No, definitely not. Did I just want to create and get my head into what I was doing? Yes. And if that's what I want to do, that's what I'm going to do. And if I have to fight for it, for me to have freedom, I'll do it. It is what it is.
When you was in Mallet, did you ever feel like you was fighting amongst corporate decisions of like where the brand needs to go for success, but then Tommy wants to go in a different direction?
Yeah, completely. I'll tell you what happened with that, yeah? And this is back to where you mentioned the competing part, right? I felt when I started coming into a different life, for example, having a kid, I lost complete touch of who that customer was that I was trying to communicate with. Because the customer that I had targeted in 2015 was now older, wanted different things, wore a complete different style, didn't really go out partying, grown up. So Central C, and that was now the kids that was chatting about the roads, and they're wearing tech fleeces. I didn't really understand it. I didn't get it. So I feel like I did lose touch with my creativity, and I had to keep it exactly where it was because it was performing well as it was in stores. But at the same time, I didn't feel like I could grow as much because I wanted to do like more niche stuff, and it wasn't really communicating right with my customer. So it was a tough old journey, man. The last year was hard. It was really hard. I struggled to just understand what I wanted. And listen, this is everyone makes mistakes. You'll make loads on the way and you'll pay for them. I hope you don't have to pay that too much. But it ain't too after then you look back from it from a different angle and you go, maybe I could have handled that right. Maybe I've done that wrong. Could that person have been pissed off? Yes. But was there things that pissed me off I let go that I probably shouldn't have? Yes. Would I ever speak about it? No. Because that's not how I've been brought up. And that's not how I roll. But there was things that, for me, I thought was much, like, I was like, unforgivable. But because I let it go, it just got left. There was a lot of stuff that I had to deal with. And a lot of people wouldn't have. So it is what it is. When it becomes so big and you becomes familiar, a lot of it becomes tit for tat towards the end, man. It's a shit position. I don't wish it on no one, honestly.
I'll go ask you, bro. Why not just sell the 50%? Why not just get rid of your shares?
Because it was more complicated than that, man. It was like I was actually looking to sell the shares for a while, and a lot of the investors didn't want to buy it without me being in the company.
Is that because you've been in the face of the brand for so long?
It's got my name on it, yeah. And I was the creative lead of the business. The business is doing well without me. So, like, good on them, man. Good on them. Like, big up. You done well. You, like, keep smashing it. I wish you every single success in the world. But when I tried to sell it, the investments just weren't working. And
even your partner didn't want to buy it back, or?
No, there was contracts as well where I couldn't just sell it to a random person. I had to offer it back to my partner. And then we got in a court battle, and then we've been stuck in that for a year.
So then, yeah, coming back to it, in mid-December, you got this letter saying, you know, you can't go ahead with it. What's your first reaction at that point? I know we mentioned the fact that, you know, it's essentially two different products.
Yeah, the way I looked at it is, look, it's not a competitor. I'll reserve my right to keep saying that. And I'm going to carry on doing what I do, which is carrying on. So I'm doing it.
How long did it take you for? Because so this, do you know why I like the journey a lot, right? And I don't even know where I'm going with this essentially, but you created the page Tommy's Journey. That is the page for Citrine, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I loved about that is it was so on brand with what Citrine is. You know, the stuff you were posting in Tommy's Journey, everyone resonating it, the engagement's high, people were loving it, and then you've just turned that into a product. I was like, this guy's a G. What a genius. And I see that. So then at what point could you actually start selling to them? With all this court stuff going on, at what point could it actually become a tangible product that people can buy?
No, I've done it straight away as soon as I got the letter.
Okay, so even throughout then?
Yeah, man. I launched.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm launching. I launched small. I turned it around so fast, considering where it was. And I went for it. I just done it. Because I feel like I weren't a competitor. And at the same time, you're innocent until you're proven guilty. So because someone has an opinion on something doesn't mean that it's right. Doesn't mean I'm right. I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I just thought it was right to do, so I done it. And then I released the products, and then it was like, well, you need to stop selling it, otherwise we're taking it to court. And I was like, I'm not stopping. There's no way. I'm carrying on.
So the whole thing for court being almost a year long or longer than a year is purely because of the fact that they don't want you to sell it. It's just back and forth.
Yeah, so there was like they basically took me to court to get an injunction where I wasn't allowed to say the name Citrine, and I wasn't allowed to promote it, and I wasn't allowed to put any money in the business. You can obviously see that I carried on speaking about Citrine, so you probably know how the court case went on that one. But with that being said, I got an injunction saying I wasn't allowed to sell to certain retailers, and I wasn't allowed to like poach any staff, which I was cool with anyway, because I didn't have the money to have any staff, and I didn't even want any retailers.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up going to court over saying I weren't even going to do. I was like, it's an online-only business. It's small. It's me and my family. It's like I'm literally just going to try and turn some money over. And so I could carry on, which meant I succeeded in the part where I could carry on building the company, could carry on being a director, carry on smashing it. But I had restrictions on me, and I was bound to a contract. And on that contract, they put a lot of red tape and things I could say, and anything I'd say would end up into a legal letter. And it was just easier for me to just like work in the background. And that's what I've done.
Do you know what the conversation reminds me a lot of? And there's probably two complete different scales to this. You've had a podcast with him. I've had a podcast with him. Lewis. And I see this story. As you're saying this, I just remember the point where I'm sitting across the table from him and talking about all of this.
Never forget him saying it to me, man. And I thought, I always liked Lewis. I was saying about Lewis.
Lewis is a honestly sick guy.
Saying about Lewis. And when I heard the story, I was going through something, and I was actually on the other side of the table.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in control of a situation, right? And I could have made some big decisions to put me in front, and I could have really done some madness, right? And I sat down with Lewis, and he mentioned his situation and mentioned the guy.
Mm-hmm.
He said something, yeah, which basically implied that he was hard done by from the deal.
Yep.
And when he told me, I thought, wow, the guy you're speaking about, I've always thought quite a lot of.
Yep.
And I thought he's quite an inspirational character. But now you've said that, I've gone off him.
Yeah, the whole
dynamic changed.
Yeah.
And then I thought to myself, well, I'm going through the point where I would hate someone to think about that for me. So I'm just going to get on with this, like, with my job. And I'm not going to go through any of this shit. Yeah, so I just kept my head down. I thought, I'm not going to go court. I'm not going to be that guy. And this was in 2021 or 2022 when I first met Lewis. It made a lot of changes to how I acted in my career at one conversation I had with Lewis, because I thought, mate, you're actually quite hard done by. I don't want to have people think that I would ever be the person to do that. So anything that comes my way and any ag I'm going through, I'm going to nip it in the bud, because that's not me, yeah? I'm on the other end of it now, and now I'm the Lewis. Could have been the aggressor, but now I'm the Lewis. But to be honest with
you and him would have a fun conversation about that.
Mate, it's mistakes and you don't make them twice.
But you know, it's interesting because he's come out of it, and since then, you know, he's sold his shares. And you know, from what I see online right now, and I give him messages here and there, he seems to just be living life on his own terms. You know, he's got money sitting in the bank, sitting in his shares, stocks, whatever the case he's doing with his money. But he's like living life to the absolute fullest. I think he's in Dubai half the time as well. So that's why I asked you, why not just sell the shares? Because
it's more complicated than that. I can't, my money's in the company, but I can't sell the shares right now because it's bigger than that. It needs to be an agreement, and I can't get to an agreement on what they're worth or what I'm going to get or how to stop things happening. It's a tough situation, man, from both sides, by the way, not just from me. I'm not hard done by with it.
Yeah,
it's just we're in negotiations, and I can't just sell them to anyone, and I know what I want from them. I'm not going to accept anything less. So hopefully we get through it. I think we will. I think the dust has settled now. I think I've made it very clear that it weren't a one-sided thing. I hope I've made it clear that.
Yeah.
That it was just a shit situation. So it's now getting through it, licking our wounds after this big court case. And now we're at the point where the shares are there and the shares hopefully get bought out. It's what they get bought out for is the next thing, but we'll see. Hopefully the thing I'd love to do is sell the shares and watch them smash it, man. I wish them all the best to go out and smash it. Like I've got no hard feelings towards anyone, and I think that's where it really shows my character in this. Because I'm not sitting here crying at all.
Yeah, nor wishing bad upon them or anything.
Mate, I don't wish bad on anyone because it only comes back on you.
Yeah,
you don't do that.
calm is a real thing.
Yeah, and if I've had love for someone and they've played a part in my journey, then you go for ups and downs in life. Don't mean that I want to wish anything bad. I don't want to see Mallet foul. Why would I want Mallet to foul? I've built it. Like, it was a massive part of my life. I don't, because of a disagreement, such a good thing could just go. Like, it had so much messaging in it. Like, I'm doing my own thing now. I've chose a different path, which is acceptable, and I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I can do whatever I want and always will do. It's my life. It don't mean I want to see things foul. Even though I probably said it in the past out of anger. I'd love to be bought out of the company and it just carries on building. I'd love that. I'd love everyone to be successful with it as well. And that's the terms that I'll leave it on. But just for now, we just got to go through the emotions, man. It's just got to stay calm.
Makes sense. I want to come to Citrine in a minute because there's things in this podcast that I've been wanting to have a conversation with someone like yourself for a long time, just because I feel like I've elevated a lot in terms of business, in terms of mindset and all that sort of stuff. And I thought, you know what? These conversations I want to have, I don't want to have with just anyone. It's got to be the right person who stands by it and preaches the same thing. Mm-hmm. So the next topic I've got for you is all about mindset. Because if anyone's got a strong mindset, it's Tommy Mallet. So, as I said, mindset is everything. Many entrepreneurs overlook this for a fact. And furthermore, you don't even need to be an entrepreneur to have a great mindset. I always have the saying of no mindset, no money. Mm-hmm. So why do you believe having the right mindset is key to success in business and life?
With that mindset, you've got nothing. You just drifting. Can't be doing that. You've got to be focused and you've got to be grounded, and having the right mindset gets you there. Having the right mindset gets you where, like, talent don't. Yeah, if you've got that mindset and you can channel into something and push until it comes, you'll be a success. You'll probably come through, you can probably get rich without it, and you can go and get a good job and you can smash it. But to really elevate and go to places where not many people can go, you need that different mindset. And the reason you need that is because if everyone had it, everyone would have it. You can't. You got to really, really have something different, and you got to stand out. You got to believe in yourself. I always used to think, how the fuck is this guy going to go and box that guy? And he actually thinks he's going to win. He's going to get battered. You got to go in there with the mentality, the winner mentality. And there ain't no such thing as losses. It's lessons. You don't have losses. No loss. There's always something better coming anyway.
So either blessings or lessons.
Blessings or lessons, always. And the lessons are really, really important, and because they make you so much better as a person. And for me, having the mindset is being able to get up every single day, no matter when it's still against you and you're still being battered from every angle and you're losing everything around you and it ain't looking good for you, you still get up and go. What sort of person does that?
One with the right mindset.
It's a serious, serious thing to do. If you're being battered from pillar to post and you're losing everything and it's crumbling in front of you and you're still waking up every morning and still believe that you're going to do it, how can you not be blessed?
But then the question comes, how does someone get that mindset, right?
I don't know. I've just got it.
I know, but this is what I'm saying. From growing up, we both grew up in the streets of London, yeah? Islington, Ilford. It's not exactly like it's Knightsbridge and Mayfair, where it's 10 out of 10 areas back in the day. For us to get that mindset, it's a hard thing to get from where we grew up from. Where do you think that develops for you personally?
When I moved schools when I was younger, I moved from Islington to Essex, and I had to go to a new school, yeah? And I had a lot of problems about the way I spoke because I had an accent, yeah? And it was back in 2005 or 6, yeah? And every day I went to school no matter what was going on. And I woke up and I went there. And I woke up and I went there, even though I was going to get shit and I was having problems and kids was coming down to school waiting for me after school and I knew I was going to have problems. Every day I went to school and I knew I had to go. I didn't want to tell my dad because I just wanted to do it myself. And I had to go every single day to the school. I had to leave the school and I'd be petrified knowing there's going to be people at the school gate, but I still walked outside the school, yeah? And that was the first thing with mindset, because I didn't give up and I didn't change the way I spoke, yeah? And after 6 months, everything was cool. Perseverance. I ended up being liked and end up being like a face in the school.
You stayed true to who you were.
Stayed true to who I was. And my mindset got me through that. Because what am I going to do? Like lay in bed all day or just ask to be moved to school? I had to stand on and do it. And that was my first like really a shot at resilience that really made me do it. And my second one is when my dad told me that I would never amount to nothing because I failed my mock GCSE exams. And I said to him, no problem. I'll be a millionaire by the time I'm 25. And I've done it. Or by the time I'm 30, I think I've done it at 25. And that was another thing. It was a goal, and it was like something that I said I needed to do for me to really prove people wrong. And that's always been a way of me to succeed, is by doing that. Tell me I can't have something, and I'm gonna
do it.
I'm gonna do it, man. So it's a very, and this is the problem with this court case, yeah, is I've got even more ambition now. I don't think I could have more. I've got even more ambition. I've got even more to prove.
More fuel and fire.
I can't do it. Why have you done that for?
What a mistake.
Why have you done that? You should never have done that. I cannot stop now. It don't matter. It doesn't matter if you have to lose it 4 or 5 times. I'm not stopping. And it will be something, and it will be huge, and it will be something that I've said it was going to be. And that's where the mindset comes into it, is when you can get up every single day and still push when it's against you. It's the only way you do it.
What would you say has been a point where you've been tested to the limits, where you've had to constantly work on building a more tougher and resilient mindset?
Every day, man. I'll get to a point of like where I think I'm good, and it's another test. Another test comes, and they get worse and worse and worse. And then the way of really understanding it and making sure that you can snap out of the headspace, yeah, is this. You get to the point where you get pushed so much. I look through how much I've been pushed this week, for example, and I'll go, wow, imagine if I got pushed like that last year. I would never have been able to deal with this. It was easy. You show how the mindset can change so much that you become so resilient, you become stronger. And that's how you get through it. Because I'm like, all right, cool, well, I'm going to be even stronger through this. I'll keep going. And it has to change soon, doesn't it? So you've got to keep going. Imagine giving up and then the next day it was the time for it to all happen for you. Imagine that. I always get little signs. I think, oh, shit, this is hard, man. And they'll get a phone call from someone to say, yo, let's link. And I'll be like, oh, that could be the one. So that's where the mindset comes in. You have to believe in yourself, man.
You have to believe in yourself. Self-belief is the biggest thing.
Mate,
biggest trait.
It's tough, though, man. It's tough. I'm going to be honest with you, mate. It's not easy. If I sat there and said it was easy, it's not. It's like, it's not. It's to keep faith in hard times is very hard. It is.
Do you know, on what you're just saying right there, yeah, one thing that I suffer with a lot with, yeah, and a lot before, not so much as now, but it still comes into my life here and there, is self-doubt and imposter syndrome. Mm-hmm. How do you actually, or what could you say to me to, deal with the mental hurdles and any advice of overcoming that? And not just me, but I suppose
I still
yourself
get it
as well.
myself, man. I still get myself, and like, it's about shrinking it, and like you're gonna get it. You can be positive and have negative times. It's just life, yeah. But if you can work out the fastest way of changing your mindset when that happens, that's how you do it. So, for example, with the ADHD, I really struggle to regulate my emotions. So when it comes, and it's like, whoa, it's like fucking, it's unstoppable. I can't snap out of it. And it's like, oh, have I made the right decision? Shit, why am I doing this? I thought we'd be here. Bang! And I'll go, whoa, you ain't going to get where you want to be by thinking like this. Take some time off. Go gym. Do what you got to do. Like,
go play some paddle.
Go and have a little cry if you want to go and have a little cry. Get the fuck back to it tomorrow, though. You've got 20 minutes to go and sort yourself out. You've got an hour to sort yourself out. Stop thinking about it. Stop acting out emotion. The emotion's taking over your brain. Take the emotion out of your brain. Think of the statistics. Let's think how we're going to do this. Let's think of a strategy. Let's move. And that's why I always like go offline or always delete all my photos off Instagram or I think of a new strategy. When that comes in, I think, why is it happening? What can I do to change it? I don't want to feel like this. I need to make a different decision. Let's go. And then I'll crack on from then. Sometimes it could take a few days. Majority of the time, 24 hours, 36 hours gone. Of course it happens. Of course it does, man. Especially if you've... The main reason it happens is when you think that everything's going to be straightforward and it don't. And then you feel shit about it. Because you're giving yourself too much like expectations. So I always say expect nothing, appreciate everything, yeah? if you put too much expectations in something, for example, a podcast, if it's going to get so many views and it's the best one you've ever done and it goes out and it don't do as well,
I used to suffer from that a lot.
you end up deleting them, like your pictures on Instagram you take down.
My head used to go nuts when that used to happen.
But all it takes is that to become relevant in years to come.
Yeah.
And it blows. So you need to get yourself through and trust the journey. And like the reason that imposter syndrome is really, really big thing is you want everything yesterday. Everything has to be quick. Can't wait for things to grow, can you? So if you want things fast, go to McDonald's. If you want something good and you want that seasoned stuff, you go to somewhere it takes 24 hours to season it. That's where the goodness is. So you got to give yourself the time. And unfortunately, because of today's society and the social media and things like that, we don't have that. We want everything yesterday. And that's where the self-doubt comes in, because you'll see someone doing something else and you'll think, you compare themselves to yourself to them, and then that happened. So the way to get around it is just remember where you started, remember where you are from last time, say from last week I'm better, from the week before that I'm better, baby steps, let's go, boom. But by the time you know it, you've smashed it.
Even with me, when it came to imposter syndrome, I always used to question, how have I got here? Why am I here? Do I belong here? And all
Am I lucky?
Stuff. Am I lucky? What was it? And I used to suffer from that a lot. And I found a way for myself to actually get around it. And that was just take 20 minutes to half an hour out of your side and analyze everything that you've done to be in the positions you are and why you deserve to be where you are right now. And for me, that's how I counted imposter syndrome. Because now I can actually own that I'm sat at this table right here, right now with Tommy Mallet, someone like yourself and many other entrepreneurs. And I suppose in my sense, in my head, killing it.
I told you this before, don't you remember?
Maybe so, yeah.
You don't remember the line?
Go on, what was it?
And I said, brother, you are smashing it.
Oh, yeah,
remember the line. I told you that from time. I knew that you had that.
Yeah. But it was imposter syndrome then. Now I own it. I'm just like, cool, sweet,
come on,
let's have it.
Remember where you started, bro.
That's it, remember where you started. When you look at someone with a weak mindset, what do you think is the biggest barrier preventing them from developing a stronger one?
I think there's a lot of stuff for people not tapping into the right frequency. So like wanting to have better, but then not changing your lifestyle to accommodate that. Like going out drinking every weekend, but you're saying you want to be successful.
Yeah, definitely.
So you're hungover 2 nights a week. 2 nights a week, 2 days a week. It doesn't make sense.
Your actions aren't matching up with what you're saying you want to do.
Like you need to align everything. You need to really decide that you want to do it and go and do it. And you need to say, all right, cool. Well, I'm gonna really go for this. And not many people want to do it. Not many people want to risk. It's the risk, man. You got to be mad to risk your money on your 9 to 5 of paying your bills to go and start saying no. That's how you get caught in a trap, man. That's what stops people. Is that, oh, what about this? What about that? What about society? I should be married by now. I should have a house. I should have a mortgage. Shut up, man. Go and build a business. And when you've got everything, then you can go and do it. But if your thing is to build a business, but if your other thing is to get a job and live a nice, peaceful life and buy a house, go and do that. But a lot of people, they want a bit of everything. You want to be an entrepreneur, but then you want stability. You don't have that.
It's a shiny object syndrome, innit?
You don't have that.
Yeah.
It don't work like that.
Yeah.
If you want to be an entrepreneur and you want success, you're going to have the most shittest few years of your life to start.
Yep.
You're going to have no
It's going to be a lonely road.
It's going to be a lonely road, man. It's even lonelier when you lose it as well.
That's the thing. A lot of people expect that when you start your business, you're going to be a success overnight, and then you can start living your life, traveling to Dubai, doing this, doing that, when in reality, that is not the case at all.
No.
We've seen what hurdles and objects are going to come in your way, especially in your story here right now. You know, the story's far from finished, but we've seen exactly what you've got to go through to go towards the end of this destination.
I said the other day, listen, I've had to take so many step backs to get to where I am today, yeah? But now when I'm just stepping in so much positivity and abundance and purpose, and I know where I'm going, I know what I'm doing it.
Is that because you're stepping in Citrine?
And it's because I'm in Citrine to one, but more so it's like, I know why I'm doing it. I know that so much more is coming to me. Let's go back to the story about the mallet thing. What do you expect? If I weren't happy doing something, do you expect me just because of the money just to stay around? I have to change my life. You get one life. Live it. And that's where I'm today.
One thing I believe you're big on as well is attracting wealth and abundance.
For sure.
What does that actually mean to you? The phrase and the statement, attracting wealth and abundance, what is that?
So, for me, is money comes and money goes, yeah? And it comes in waves. And the waves is because of the frequency you're on. That's what I believe. I believe that when you're in you know the saying, money comes to money?
Yep.
You ever heard that?
Yep.
You know, have you ever seen when you've got someone who's got money and they just get the maddest things and it just always happens to them? Their frequency is to attract money, yeah? Their frequency is, I'm abundantly attracting wealth. It's coming to me. I've lived and breathed it, and I've done it. I'm telling you now, I've done it. I have been there, and it's been like, no matter what it was, it just come to me. It was flowing so fast. If you don't have that mindset, you have scarcity of money. So then all you're worried about is losing it. If all you're worried about is losing it,
you're going to lose it.
You're going to lose it. And I promise you it happened to me. I promise you it happened to me. I had preached for years about The Secret and the law of attraction and how to do it. I didn't take that into consideration. I promise you it happened to me. I had a lot of cash-rich money, lots of it, right? Like in the million, of 3 to 4 millions at a time in the bank, tax-paid money, yeah? I had that. I went through a stage, and it was one summer when I bought the G-Wagons, right? And when everything was hard to get, I went through a stage of everything just coming to me, man. I was getting phone calls. Do you want to buy this car? You can have it at the thingy. And I was like, I'd buy it. And it'd be like, it was worth 50 grand more. It was coming so fast. Everything was coming. Money was flying. And then when I had a few hiccups and a few arguments, I was like, shit. Hold on, I might lose this all. This might go. Let me stop buying things. Let me stop tipping the waiters so much. Let me stop giving that much money to charity. Let me just calm down on it because I'm going to lose it. Bang, I lost it. I've experienced it. I've experienced the two sides of it. And when I speak to my mum and dad, and my dad especially, they have a negative frequency about money. It's about money's hard to come by. Money, you need to save a certain amount. You need to put money in savings. You need to pay a pension. You need to buy a house because that's the only thing you can have. I'm like, brother, why do I need a pension for? I'm going to be a billionaire when I'm 60.
I've always had that mindset as well.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if I'm saying, well, I don't need a pension, what's the rainy day? It ain't raining around here, bruv. Got umbrella. Like, I had that mindset for so long and I was attracting so much to me, yeah? My frequency changed and I started losing it. So that's where the wealth and abundance comes from. And that's where the crystals play a part of it. Because there's a frequency on the crystals. And the crystal's frequency is 580. And it's the same as the miracle tone in music. And that is associated to wealth and abundance. And that's why I say that the vibration coming off the crystals and the mindset, it just brings more to you. If you've ever been in a room and someone comes in and they've got shit energy and it just changed the whole mood.
Yeah, of everyone, yeah.
Well, how comes it can happen with that? And then someone comes in, they leave and someone's got good energy and it just hypes the whole room up.
Yeah.
Well, there's a frequency. The energy's there. Same thing. Everything's energy. Money's energy. Like, everything's energy. So if you can turn yourself on the right frequency and be happy and fulfilling and stuff like that, it just keeps coming to you. And for me, I've lived and breathed it. I didn't realise how serious it was when I was in it. And I won't lose it again now. I lost it because of that. And I made shit decisions and I was scared of losing it and I lost it. And now I won't be doing that again. So when it comes in, I'll appreciate it so much more. I appreciate what I've got around me. I appreciate my relationships. I appreciate my friends, my money. I appreciate little things. I appreciate food. I appreciate everything, security, everything I've got around me. I appreciate, and I'm constantly saying thank you for it. I've got it tattooed on my hand. Constantly thankful, because that means I'm happy with what I've got, and I'm going to get more of it. If I keep moaning about that food shit, that, you're just going to get more shit. So that's where the abundance mindset comes from.
I never actually researched it before, right? This whole thing of wealth, attraction and abundance. And I remember I could throw it back to 2021, 2022 even. I had roughly about maybe 10 grand in my account, yeah? And I always used to be thinking, I've only got 10 grand, I'm going to lose it. And I'd always bottom out. I'll always get down to a grand or something like that. And I thought, what the fuck's going on, man? Why am I losing money? I'm saying to myself, I'm not going to lose it, but somehow it's disappearing every single time. And then my mindset slowly started to change. It was like, how do we make more money? All right, cool. Now this money is going to bring more money. Now I live life abundantly, doing things, flying out to Dubai, buying a car, whatever the case may be, because in my head, I know that the money's going to come back anyway.
Of course it is.
And when you attract wealth, you're happy to spend wealth and you're scared about it at all.
Yep.
We were talking about it off camera as well, like how much I'm charging for sponsorships and stuff like that.
Yeah,
now.
it's mad.
And I'm only able to do that now because now I am able to attract that money. Someone said something to me, and he's almost like a mentor to me as well. He said, you're only deserving of the money that you make, and you deserve to be in the positions you are in right now. And that stuck with me because it made me start thinking, what have I done to deserve this? What have I done to deserve what I want in the future? If I'm not deserving of it, then I need to be deserving of it.
Yeah, of course.
And that's the way I've started living
And
life.
that's why charity and giving is a big part in most religions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
It's a very big part in most religions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because if you give and you give because you know you've got more. So if there's someone less fortunate than you, you can give to them because you're chosen and you have got more coming to you. So you can give to them because it's coming back. It's coming back tenfold.
Yeah.
So you're doing God's work by you passing it forward. Pay it forward, do the good things. It's going to come back to you and you're good. You can keep doing it. And that's how it becomes a cycle. Most like really, really successful people, like billionaires, are like, that's what they do. They're philanthropists. I can't say it right. I got a bit of
You said it right. I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Philanthropists.
Don't ask me. I even got English, is he?
Same thing. They always do good things like that. And the more you do, the more you attract. But yes, it's a funny journey and it's worth learning. Because all you got to do is change your frequency, and then no matter what it's in, whether it's in relationships, wealth, fitness, anything.
What do you think are some of the common misconceptions people have about wealth abundance, and how can they shift their thinking to attract more of it?
People think profit's a bad word, don't they? They think that anyone with profit is just not a good person.
Selling people out to make money.
People out, and for me, money's a tool. That's all it is. Money's a tool for you to do great things with.
Yeah.
So, people they don't know what to do with it. They think that, well, what do you do if you have all that money? I never forget when I earned my first million, right? I've never let that million go less than $1 million in my bank account for about 2 years. I didn't realise I was blocking myself from earning more money. As soon as I started letting that money go less, I started that so much more started coming to me. It was mad. I don't even know how it happened. But people have got that stingy / money's not good for you and it can do bad things. Yeah, money's a tool. People do bad things with everything. But at the same time, it's something that you can do good things with. And once you get on the frequency of understanding that, you get a different mindset and then you can attract it more. And I think that's what blocks people, is they don't know what they'll do when they get it. They're like, oh, money, what are we going to do? Causes a lot of problems though. Yeah, everything causes problems. That's sort of in a nutshell what I think. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. I like it.
People's mindsets have been told that it does bad things when really it's the people using them are bad. It ain't the currencies bad.
It's not the tool. It's the way you use it.
Yeah, it's the way you use it, innit?
Yeah.
Like you can light a match to make a fucking barbecue, but you can also light a match to burn someone's ass down.
Yeah.
Don't mean the match is bad, does it?
Yeah.
It's the same sort of thing. It's
someone's intentions and the purpose.
It's the intentions and whatever you look at it.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you can sort of plan your life out and say, right, this is where it's going to be. I'm going to get money. I'm going to buy a house. I'm going to do good with it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. It then flows and then it will come to you better and you understand it more.
When you first started out, did you have a clear vision of the wealth that you wanted and how you're going to build it and what you're going to do with it?
Nah.
Not at all?
Nah, I never forget earning my first million. I went and got a burger.
From where? Can you remember that at least?
McDonald's, I think.
The guy earns £1 million and then goes to get
in
a
Mark's Gate.
Big
I
Mac.
think I went Mark's Gate or something like that. Yeah, I had a Porsche Cayman 718. And I earned my first million. And I was like, yeah, I needed this. George, what do you want to do? Let's go and get a burger.
Yeah.
I only got a burger.
It's interesting because nothing changes.
And when I earned my other biggest deal, after that, we celebrated with a burger as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like something that I just do. Nothing really changed, man. Nothing changed in my life. I think it makes you comfortable and makes you know that you can look after people. But apart from that, it's really nice knowing that you've got money for bills and you don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
When you're pursuing a dream, it's really nice to know that you don't have to worry about the financial side of it. There's only so many holidays you can go on, so many cars you can have, I suppose.
There's more to life than that.
It's more to life, but it's a good tool, and it is a good tool, and it is nice to have, and it is nice to have that security blanket of money. Yeah. Definitely.
How do you find or create opportunities that align with your goals of building wealth? And do you actively seek them out, or do they tend to come your way?
Opportunities.
Yeah. Like, are you going out? Is Tommy going out and trying to find opportunities, or are you?
Yeah, no, I'm constantly looking for opportunities. I'm constantly looking what's resonating with people. I'm constantly looking what people are talking about. Constantly looking what people are wearing, how people are spending their money. I completely see from from right now that there's no people really spending money on luxury designers no more. It's completely changed. I'm looking, all right, well, how can I get into that? How can I do this? I'm constantly doing that, always. I feel like they do come to you when you're manifesting, but at the same time, you still got to go out and get it. You don't just go, oh, well, I'm going to become a billionaire tomorrow, and it happens. You've got to go and make the steps to show the higher power that you're doing the steps to make it happen, and you deserve it.
Yeah. Everything we've just spoken about right now kind of shows the mindset of Tommy Mallet now.
Yeah.
And going back to it once again, Mallet was made for the purpose of the people, for the youngsters who want to look cool and trendy and stuff, but couldn't afford to get the high-end trainers. Citrine now is the brand that everything we just spoke about, wealth, abundance, attraction, manifestation, the whole lot. So now let's get to the juicy part, which I know you've been waiting for this whole podcast, but we'll finally get to it now. Citrine. We spoke about how it came about. We spoke about what it was exactly, but if we had to break it down further, where did this idea originate from? I know you said you've done loads of sketches and got a whole load of IP, etc. The concept of Citrine, why put a crystal in a shoe?
So when you go through bad times, yeah, you would probably go to the mosque, yeah, and you really, I know you practice anyway, but you'd be like praying a lot, like as much as you can, and you go do everything to the book, and you've got nothing. But when it's big life changes, you have nothing else to turn to because you only can go to what you believe in, yeah. For me, it's always been my spiritual side, yeah. So if I'm going through loss or I'm going through a really tough time, I'm going through times I'm like meditating. Like I'll start eating really healthy. I pray a lot. I do so many different things to just make myself connected and different, right? And I found a crystal in my office that got left there, and I was talking to someone. They was like, "That'll make you feel better." And you've got a calling that's about to change your life. And I looked up, there's a crystal there, and I was like, "Yeah, but it's a crystal. What's that gonna do?" It was like, "Trust me, that crystal is one for you. It will change things." So, without going into the whole story about it, there was a crystal there. I got recommended that it would be helpful for me. I got told that it's my destiny to do something with this crystal, so I started carrying it.
How big is this crystal? Because I'm just trying to imagine.
Small at the time. It was just like a little crystal, man.
Like a pebble size sort of thing.
Yeah, sort of. Started carrying this crystal, man. I started like straight away. I didn't really feel anything, but I started feeling a little bit more calm. I started every time I touched it in my pocket, I knew that there was better times coming because I was in a really shit place. And then started researching the crystal and finding that it's been said in Chinese culture for years that this is the crystal that attracts wealth, abundance, prosperity. It gives you a high frequency, which stops your mental creative block. It gives you calm and stuff like that. And I'm like, whoa, this is me actually explained in a crystal. It's called Citrine. It's Old French for citrus because it's yellow, gives a colour of the sun. When you look at it, it makes you think of nice times and you think, oh, the sun's coming out, which gives vitamin D, which then makes you feel better. So it's all connected. Start carrying it, and I'm like, every time I'm feeling a bit shit, I'll look at it, and then it will light sort of shine. It will make me remember my house in Spain and my good times with my family, and I'm like, it's all coming. So I was like, I don't want this to end. I want this all the time. I want to do everything with this. How do I even make it better? So I was like making fragrances with it in. I was making key rings with it in. I was physically making them myself. And then I cut a sneaker apart and put it in a sneaker of a sole.
You posted a picture of that on Instagram or something?
Yeah, that was me making it. I actually one day I just made it. I was like, yeah, let's do it. I started making this sneaker. And we ended up making it so it's free roaming. So the energy goes through the earth, into the crystal, into the bottom of your foot. And for me, that's where the magic starts. Because every single time I put this sneaker on in the morning and I see the crystal, it remembers me that I've got a goal. It remembers me that I'm on this journey. It remembers me that there's so much more to life and it's coming to me. And it makes me feel better. And when I don't wear them, you could call it a placebo effect or whatever you want to call it, I don't feel right. And that's my beliefs. And when things started changing for me, and no matter what I was losing around me and shit was going wrong, I just knew it was better. My life started becoming better. My body shape started becoming better. Started believing in myself much more. I started being calmer. So I was like, well, I want other people to feel this. And that's how it started. Literally just from a place of me wanting to, I was on the cloud nine. I wanted other people to be able to feel this feeling that I'd got. And that was it. Citrine was born. It was simple as that. It wasn't like I wanted to go make a big business to go and just like take any business of anyone else. It was like I had this little niche thing and I just wanted to run with it. Me and my family got into it and was like, well, let's do it all together. And that was how Citrine was built.
I gotta say, the brand slogan is Sick as well.
Step into abundance.
Stepping into abundance. That is absolutely sick. But why footwear? Because I know footwear is something you've been doing your whole life anyway.
I don't know anything else.
But then going back to what you were just saying, that you could easily put it on a keyring, or I don't know, you could even integrate it into a watch or something like that.
Destiny, innit? I'm meant to be where I'm meant to be, and I'm telling a story, and I'm a creator, and I create through footwear. I might not be doing Citrine in a few years. I might be doing something else. There might be something else. It's how I communicate. It's what I do. It's what I'm talented in. So being able to tell the story, and especially put it into sneakers, and really start tapping into this new sort of person that I'd started being able to communicate, because I had been open about my ADHD. So my following started being different. It started being people who had been through trauma because of the baby loss. ADHD was like, I had gone from being this guy that was like fresh off the road really, to then someone that was trying to communicate with such different people. And I started really enjoying it. So I was like, well, there's not a sneaker in the market for that. So I wonder if I can do it. And that's what happened. And it's the same thing as like when people do things like, They take their shoes off and they stand on the grass because it grounds you. Yeah? It's a big thing in many cultures, right? Taking your shoes off and letting your body reconnect with the earth is ways of your body's natural energy getting reboost. You know that, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That's the same else that I wanted to incorporate into this sneaker. Well, if I can get the energy to go through a crystal as well, it's even better. And it just made me feel better about myself. And every step I was taking, I felt better. And I went through coming out of a dark place into somewhere which was so bright. And it was just like my prayers had been answered. I had been given something. So I honestly feel like it had been sent to me by God. And who am I to reject something that's been given to me by God? I ain't doing it. So that's how I was born.
Do you know what? For the past 5 minutes, I've been thinking in my head, and I don't discredit you in any way. You're an entrepreneur. You're a businessman. But do you know what I'd say you are more than anything else? An artist.
I am an artist.
Expressing your emotion, your feelings, and in this case, in your case, through a product.
Yeah, of course.
And it's been like that. When I look at it, I was just thinking about it right now. I was thinking, hold on, wait a second. He's been doing this his whole life. Done it with Mallet.
Yeah.
And now he's in the place in his life where he's doing it with Citrine.
So now I hope you understand, yeah? Because I might get you to cut a bit about the compete stuff, not all of it. But I hope you understand now where the two differences are through the two companies.
Yeah,
where I feel like I could start two businesses.
Yeah.
Because I was a kid from the streets who just wanted wealth, so everyone knew that I had wealth. Then I went into the person who wanted to give people the feeling of how I was feeling, of you can feel rich. And then I was like, well, the money didn't make me happy, so fuck that. Let me show you the ingredients of how I actually felt more spiritual and grounded and closer to the universe.
Yeah.
It's two different parts of my life.
Yeah.
One of them's the Tommy Mallet era, and the other's Tommy Fordham. That's me. It's my real name. And it was a whole change in my life. And I can just tell stories. And do I feel like I've been chosen and given this platform for me to be able to inspire people, to show them that you can do better with your life and no matter what's happening? Yes, I do. So I've always had that on my shoulders. I need to just keep going. And that's why I'm so stuck on posting out positive things constantly. Because I just want people to feel better about themselves. Because I know, because I've been there, it can happen. And you can be whatever you want to be in life. I'm just an artist telling a story.
And who knows, it could be in 20 years' time where something else comes out because you may be in a different place in life.
Completely.
It's you telling your story.
Completely. It's all the whole thing is, mate, when I said I've got millions of things that I've created in my time, is all to the emotions that I was feeling at the time. If I showed you the mood boards of some of the things that I've invented, you'd be like, wow, that is mad.
What could you say is the most random thing that no one would think of that you've invented or thought of?
No, that ain't too much random. It's just times as I was feeling. It's like, how can I make natural ingredients to make people's ADHD more soothed, and like science and stuff like that. I got involved in all of that sort of stuff. It's just loads of stuff. Just wherever I was feeling, I just done it.
Great saying.
Like when I had a kid, like, I want to make baby stuff. Dad, I'll do this and that. I've just been doing it my whole life. So like, I understand how it can look from the outset. I could look like a traitor that left my company that I started to go and start another one. But it's not. My frequency changed. And I'm an artist and I just went into a different place. When you explain it like that, it don't seem as bad, nah?
No, not at all.
So how can I, if my whole life is about expressing myself, and you can see I wear my heart on my sleeve, I've always been exactly the same with you, yeah? If I can tell a story and not really express myself by words as good, and it's by me creating things, I can't just contain what I've got.
Yeah.
Just because of what other people is and there's money attached to it. I can't do it because that for me wouldn't be me being my real purpose. My real purpose is to inspire by creating. And that's how Citrine was born. And all you got to do is read the reviews to see what it's done for some people. I'm not going to sit here and try and sell a product to you because it's not our role. You know that, yeah? But when people are in their downwards times and they've tried a lot of stuff, all you're looking for is something to make you feel better. And all you're looking for is someone who you can relate to make you feel better. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
By me telling this story is helping so many people. Because not everyone's religious. And not everyone's tried a lot of things. Not everyone's comes from the same background. Some people come from a lot of different backgrounds, yeah? And I respect every single one of them. And I really like to learn about people's backgrounds and cultures. I've always been the one to speak about that, yeah? Some people want spiritual. Some people want religious. Some people just decide to just block it all out and just try and survive.
Both of those, yep.
All of it links around the outside anyway, the spirituality and the religious side of it.
Yep.
So if I can convert people to really feel better about themselves by using a technique that I've learned, then that's my calling. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. It's exactly the same as someone trying to finding someone in a really bad place and converting them to a religion. It's exactly the same thing. I'm just trying to convert people to what made me feel better.
Yeah.
And all of it are linked all the time. Is I take parts out of religions that I like as well. And I've always
adapted it in your own life.
In my own life, I don't really have a certain religion.
Yeah.
But I'm really intrigued by what people do in their day-to-day life. Like, for example, I'm not going to go too deep into the religious part of it, but like, I don't drink, I don't gamble, and I don't do drugs, yeah?
Great, so you're basically Muslim.
No. No, it's just, it's something that I just feel like suits me, yeah? And then when I hear people talk about it, I can completely understand why people like practice that.
Yeah.
By me not drinking and doing drugs and gambling stops me from self-destructing. Because when I did drink and do other things, I self-destructed very fast. So I'll cut that straight out. Certain foods I don't eat, and certain practices I do now, which are from all different things. And I feel like I'm like a bundle of knowledge and I can help people who need it.
Yeah,
and just by fashion. So it is me storytelling from what I've learned along the way. And that's how I've got here.
Let's speak about it in a business perspective, right? Because I love the whole story and everything like that, but I kind of understand it because putting a crystal in a shoe is a very, 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 very niche product, very niche thing to do. It works because it's done by yourself, but because I'm trying to work out, because you've been selling, I've never seen a single ad for it. I know you don't shove it down people's throat because that's not your way of selling, but how's the launch been? How's the success of it been? What's the reviews and feedback been like?
All I care about is the reviews and feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else matters. It's not about what I sell. It's about the reviews and feedback. The wealth comes after that, and the numbers come after that. The feedback is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
What sort of things have people said?
I got one the other day, which was from a woman who was a school teacher.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I own 2 pairs. One I wear to school every day, and the other is for my leisure, right? She said, since I have been wearing your sneakers, I've no longer been scared to attract new opportunities in my life, and they have been flowing. Thank you so much. The other one is like, I went for a job interview. In the end, I went for 2 job interviews, and I've wanted them for years. I built up the courage to go get this job interview, and these are on Trustpilot, so you can see them. I ended up getting offered both jobs within an hour. They told me they'll come back in 2 weeks. People were telling me that I got a voice note earlier from someone who said, mate, you've done me up here, man. I was like, why? He was like, because when I'm wearing your sneakers, things are happening. And when I'm not, it ain't happening. And whether that is to do with the sneakers or it's the mindset, it don't matter.
Yeah.
Result's a result. Doesn't matter.
Mm.
I'm not whether the sneaker is the thing doing it or your mindset of saying, well, I'm wearing these so good things are going to come. Don't matter. You're getting the results.
Yeah.
And
it's worth
for
it.
me, the marketing is in the reviews because I'm considering all day until it's going to work.
Yeah.
But until you start seeing people really saying it, and I've got something like 98% positive feedback on Trustpilot. The 2% is only for delivery issues because of other companies. All of them are about the comfort and the feeling. So for me, my whole journey is about building that up to spread the message of how this can make you feel. And that's why the business starts. So without having to ram it down people's throats, my return customer rate's amazing. As soon as people receive them, they can't believe it. And my only marketing is needed once, to get the customer once. Because once they're there and they're a Citrine customer, they're a Citrine customer forever.
Yeah.
It's not fashion. It's not going to go out of fashion. That's why it's quite plain. It's not hard to wear. It's not got anything crazy on it. So you go, I like them, but I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I've done while building the company and the designs of the business is to make sure that every single person will wear them. Because it's not like, oh, that's too flashy. That's too thingy. I made them so they're completely neutral. And it's been working.
Completely clean, simple product, but with a message to it.
With a message to it. No one needs more sneakers.
Mm.
Like, you've got an Air Force One if you want a white sneaker.
Yeah.
I've been there for all the time. I've been wearing them for 20 years or whenever. Yeah. We really have to tell a different story to get customers now. It ain't about just putting Facebook ads out there and showing people that.
It's about the message.
There's two ways of doing it. Companies put things on sale, which is constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Their brands are just in sale, or people spread messages. Certain brands do it through running clubs. Certain brands do it through certain stuff. But for me, mine's through manifesting. And just at the same time, me launching a company, I've gone through a really bad time and I'm still positive. So I must be doing something right because I've lost everything and I'm still positive about it. So why would you not want to try that? And that's how my marketing is for the company. And that's what makes the business good.
I was listening to a podcast yesterday with a guy from Shark Tank. The guy's name is Robert. I can't pronounce his second name. But he was saying there's a decent salesman is someone who can list all the features of a product. A good salesman is someone who can make someone else see the vision in the product. A great salesman is someone who can sell the emotion that's attached to the product.
100%.
And that's what, like, when you think about anything, you think those are the most successful brands ever. The ones who actually sell people the feeling of it and the emotion attached to it and stuff like that.
Well, look, going back to, and you see, they're still both such big parts of my life, so I will always revert back to Mallet, yeah? For exactly what you just said there. I had built everything on my heart. The whole thing was my story of my feelings and the streets that I walked down and how I felt when I walked down them streets. But when you tell that story and it's done,
yeah,
what else have you got to say? I've told the story. What's the next thing? Yeah,
it's just like when you look at it, rappers and artists and stuff, if they've lived and done that life but they're no longer doing it anymore, they can't really rap.
What are you talking about? It's done. It's like I'm talking about my feelings and emotions and I'm pushing everything out. And like even my videos, yeah, is when I'm doing my videos because I do my own content, yeah. I'm doing mostly all of it myself, apart from the odd video and photography here and there. I'm building all that stuff. So when I'm doing it, even the music that I'm putting into it is the stuff that's making you watch the campaign more. Mm-hmm. And even like the expressions of the campaign of what's going on here is making you feel that nice feeling of like positivity and wealth and abundance. If you ain't got that, you're just selling another sneaker. No one needs another sneaker.
Yeah. Everyone's got the wardrobe full of sneakers.
You've got sneakers.
Yeah.
You don't need any more.
And if anything, the people buying, trainers, sneakers, whatever it is, just for the trend. Once that trend dies off, that's it.
It's a waste.
That's on the shelf.
So I
was up there with Jordan. I think it's Jordan 4s or I can't even remember. I ain't worn them in months because no one wears Jordans anymore.
That's mad.
What's the point?
So, and I don't want to build another business where it's my business is basically based off of what people in fashion are liking. Because most of the people that are following fashion at the moment are not following it because how they feel. They're following it because they want to look like everyone else.
Yeah.
Mate, are you mad?
Yeah.
It's about feeling good. Fashion and putting your sneakers on in the morning, in my eyes, is about feeling good. As soon as I put them sneakers on my feet, I feel good.
That's why the whole influencer marketing thing's dead because people are waking up to the fact of, okay, we don't need to listen to other people. We don't need to look at other people. Let's just do it for us.
Do your own things.
Like product, get the product.
That's it. And that's why I feel like it's a very good time for me to have launched a business. I feel like it's an inspiring time with everything that's going on in my life. So yes, I've gone through a lot of losses, but I've got one good story to tell people, and it will long may it continue. And people are getting results from it. So I'm giving back at the same time by helping people. So what else do you want?
Yeah. Just a question. How long did it take you actually to develop the product? Because I know you said days. But that's from you doing it yourself, cutting out the sole and putting it.
Yeah. I made it with resin and cut it apart and then molded it.
But then what about you actually sending it to manufacturers? I'm sure just like any other manufacturer. Really? Not like gone through like 10 different samples and then
First sample.
Really?
First sample, yeah.
Okay. How did you get your nail on the head?
Because, mate, when something's meant to be, it just happens. Honestly, I sound like I'm weirdo, yeah? I am. When something's meant to be, the door's just open, man. You won't feel like there's any force towards it. It just feels like you're meant to be doing it, and it just happens. And I really did find it with this company. It was effortless. Everything has been effortless. Hasn't been hard work. I haven't gone through one day of building this brand when I said it's been hard work. And my life before was like, honestly, man, it was just fires being put out, constant battling of the hardest days of, all right, how can I tell the message today? Because that's all it's about.
Yeah.
Like with this, it's just effortless. So
It's just your life.
Start to finish, it has been so effortless. When I'm talking, I've created a fragrance. When I'm doing this fragrance, it's like, it's effortless. Like, it literally, I'm meeting people and they're like from where I live, and they're the people who are making it for the worldwide established companies. It's just been effortless, and I've loved every minute of it. So, yes, I had experience. Yes, my vision was clear, made it easier for me, but it was very, very fast.
Yeah. I won't keep you too much longer of your time because I know you're a busy man.
I've got all the time in the world for you, brother.
But there is one thing I want to bring up, right? Your whole life, or one of the key elements of your life and your success has been, and it's integrated into your brand now, is manifestation. All right. Now, a lot of people swear by manifestation, and a lot of people don't. I've done nearly 200 podcasts by now. And even the people meet on a daily basis from different walks of life, as I said, some people swear by it, some people are like, well, what the hell is that? And how do I even do that? How has manifestation played a role in your life?
Everything's manifestation.
I'm trying to understand it because I'm also on the fence of I haven't been able to fathom manifestation. I might have done it indirectly, but it's not something I actively do. Like, I'm manifesting this, I'm manifesting that.
Do you pray?
Yeah.
And do you ask for things when you pray?
Yeah.
When you ask for it once, do you know it's going to happen?
In God's timing, yeah. I trust God that it will happen, yeah.
Just same thing.
So I know it's the same thing as, yeah.
So that's the breakdown of making it as easy as possible for you, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the action part of it. So it's about putting an idea out there or something that you want and believing it's yours. And that's manifestation. When you say that to people, it seems easier because it's like, okay, well, I'm going to say that Ferrari downstairs is mine.
Yep.
And that's going to come to me. And then I'll forget about it and it will just come. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. You need to become so obsessed with what's in front of you that things start moving for that to come to your life. So you don't get things without a plan.
Mm-hmm.
So you say, all right, well, my life is, I want that. So you got to think about it every day and visualize it within, it's yours, feel it. Like I can close my eyes and see my future. I know where Citrine's going. That's why it's not tough for me. If I have a bad day, it's fine. Citrine's still going to be there. It's out of my hands.
Yeah.
I asked for it. I've asked for it and it's coming. I've asked for this and it will come to me. So it ain't just sit there and welcome the goodness. You got to take the badness at the same time.
Yeah.
So if you want something, realize that stuff around you is going to have to change and evolve for it to fit into your life. Ain't going to always be plain sailing, man. A lot of the time, for you to welcome new things into your life, you have to go through a lot of bad things for you to move and get out of the way. For example, mine could be the Mallet situation. If I didn't move that out of the way and go through the badness, how can I welcome something new in my life? Because I'd have been stressed out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to see the good times. So my way is this. I've got Citrine. I know where I can see it. I could tell you word for word now. I know it's going to be £1 billion business. I know that it will be, majority of it will be in America. I know that I'll be offered to be bought out by a big business. I can see it now to this day. Could probably tell you now who it is as well, but I'm not gonna. And this is without me meeting them, right? I can see where the destination is. I can feel myself through the journey. I can see myself in these stores. I can see the wealth coming in. I can see me being happy around it. I can see the designs. I can see everything. I can't see the shit that it's going to take to get there. But if you told me how bad it was going to be to get there, I wouldn't want to do it. So, if something don't go right on that journey, I just need to keep the vision where it's meant to be. Because it's meant to be because I'm evolving to then receive that. So no matter what goes on around there, the end goal is that, and it's done.
Yeah.
It's not if it comes, it's there. It's coming. It does not matter. So if I have a bad day, sometimes I'll go, oh, have I made the right decision? This is going shit at the minute for me, I'll go, all right, well, what part of the journey is this we're in today then? Because we're going to there.
Yeah.
That's happening. So you're at that part there when you're going to lose your mind for a week. Like, go on, lose your mind.
Because the next week after that's going to be up.
You're going to be up.
Yeah.
And then you go, all right, cool. What can I do to make it feel better? Well, the journey's the journey and it's going to go exactly the way that it's planned to be. But I'm the only person that can make my mindset comfortable in uncomfortable situations and take the bad with the smooth.
Yeah.
That's it.
So alongside manifestation, you have to have the clearest vision ever for that.
You're going there either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have to work. You're going to lose things. You're going to lose friends. You're going to be separated from everything what don't serve the purpose when you get there. But if you can see yourself there, at that point, nothing else matters around it.
Yeah.
And that's it. And you just have to keep that mindset. No matter what happens, you will get there. The bad things could be so bad. Then you go, I'll have to find the message in that, won't I? And it sounds tough. It is tough, actually. Because you can say to someone that you're going to go through some of the hardest times of your life and you're just going to go, what was the message in it? And what was the learning? And until you really, really, really can see your goal, it won't come true as fast. But where I'm right now is that's where I'm going. I just need reality to really catch up to get there.
You can't truly manifest something if you don't truly believe in it yourself.
No.
You have to firmly, wholeheartedly believe it.
You can have a little blip of self-doubt, but you put it right. And then after, you always got to be thankful for their moments because they realise how far you've come.
Yeah.
You've got to be doing really, really well for you to be able to have that self-doubt. So how did I get here? Because if you were stuck in the same place, you wouldn't be saying, how did I get to this situation? Because you're still in the same place.
Yeah.
So when you turn around in years and go, wow, that's where I started. Look where I'm now.
Yeah.
How the fuck did I get here? And then, have a little few bad thoughts, put it right, stay grateful and grateful for everything. The lessons, the journeys, the peoples, everything. Because all of it's moments. And that's what I believe.
This is why I knew I needed to do this podcast with you because, there's so many times I'm sitting down with people, entrepreneurs, and they're talking about strategy. And strategy is great. Key principles in business is great. But the thing that is going to attract true wealth in your life is everything we've spoken about today, from manifesting to wealth, abundance, attracting wealth. All of that combined into one. It's not a business strategy.
I don't have a strategy.
It's a life strategy.
I don't have a strategy.
Yeah.
I've never had a business strategy in my life. I've never, ever had a business strategy. My strategy is this. It will come. It's coming. Just make sure you're ready for it.
Yeah.
And them lessons that come along the way make you ready to receive it. And if you're not, and for example, if you're manifesting / praying for something or whatever it is you're doing, and you want to get to that part there, you think they're going to, the universe is going to give you that when you can't handle it so you can lose it. What's the point?
You got to be ready for it.
Be a waste.
Yeah.
But if you've never had any problems, you've never been to court, or you've never had it, or you've never been tested with losing money, having money, dealing with loss, how are you going to be that strong character to run that £1 billion business? Of course you're not going to be able to do it because you've not got any experience.
Yeah.
And that's how it happens.
That's how it happens.
Yeah, man. It's as simple as that, mate. Honestly. New things come. Always.
Tommy, to wrap this podcast up, if you had to advise the people who have made it up to this point right now, I mean, we've been filming for an hour and 47 minutes right now. Feels like it's only been 20, to be fair. Any time review is always quick. But if you had to advise the people who've made it up to this point in the podcast right now, what would you say to them?
The best is yet to come, man. No matter what is going on in your life, get your head right. The best is yet to come. If you're feeling bad about yourself, you're struggling with any mental ADHD or anything to do with the brain, you can flip a switch and you can get out of it. It might take a while, but when you do get out of it, good things are coming. Get up and go and get it.
Love it.
And fucking hell, you've done well listening to this for hour before you said what it is.
Tommy, I want to thank you very much for coming on the podcast,
Thank
man.
you, always. I always appreciate it, brother.
I've been looking forward to do this one since we've done the first podcast. I want to say we've both developed. Obviously, you've gone through, everything that we spoke about. But also, I look back at the other podcasts and think, you know what, Raheem, you've developed a lot as a podcaster and stuff.
There you have. No, you have. Smashed it. You're a different person.
I can't lie. When it came to this podcast, I studied hard for this. I was like,
really?
Yeah, bro. I went full in. You see my page, I got full on notes.
Yeah, but even on the first one, man, you've done the same thing on the first one. But mate, I was mad then.
Yeah. No, this one is just like, I need to understand it. I suppose it comes to, me being in a different mindset as well. Understanding the whole attracting wealth, abundance, manifesting, all of. I didn't have a flipping clue about it back then.
Yeah, it's nice.
I was just three-year-old.
Yeah, well, now you listen. You are where you are now, innit? And you got to keep it. So now's the time.
That's it, people.
But thank you for having me, brother. I appreciate it.
If people want to find you, where can they do so?
Citrine.com.
That's it. Straight. Don't worry about it. There she is. Guys, I hope you all enjoyed the episode. Make sure you leave a like, and also I've got show notes on the episode as well. If you want to download that, everything we've just covered in a document, then click the link in the description. You can get all that for free. Appreciate you tuning in. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next episode of Ceocast. Peace.